Ukrainian forces conducted a series of successful missile strikes against military targets in Russian-occupied Ukraine on May 23rd and 24th. Geolocated footage shows that Ukrainian forces struck a Russian S-400 air defense system, destroying 4 of its missile launchers and its radar station in occupied Luhansk Oblast. Ukrainian forces also used ATACMS missiles to strike targets in Crimea. Reports indicate that the strike significantly damaged Russian equipment and infrastructure. This shows Ukraine's ongoing capability to conduct effective counteroffensive operations despite the challenges posed by the conflict. The Ukrainian military command continues to address manpower challenges. Brigadier General Yevgeny Ostryansky stated on May 24th that the Ukrainian military plans to reduce the General Staff's personnel by 60% and reallocate the personnel following a functional survey of the General Staff in February and March 2024. The plan includes disbanding 25% of its elements and transferring the other 35% to other branches of the Ukrainian military. Ostryansky emphasized that consistent rotations for frontline units are vital for maintaining morale and operational efficiency. These steps are crucial for Ukraine's ability to sustain long-term counteroffensive operations. The U.S. Department of Defense announced a military assistance package worth $275 million on May 24th to help Ukrainian forces repel Russian offensive operations in northern Kharkiv Oblast. The package includes HIMARS ammunition, 155mm and 105mm artillery ammunition, tube-launched, optically tracked, wire-guided missiles, anti-tank systems, precision aerial munitions, mines, and other parts and equipment. This aid aims to bolster Ukraine's defensive and offensive capabilities, ensuring they can sustain their military efforts against Russian forces. Such support from the U.S. and other allies is crucial for Ukraine's ongoing resistance and strategic planning. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg stated on May 24th that NATO member states should consider lifting restrictions on Ukraine's use of Western-provided weapons to strike military targets in Russia. Stoltenberg emphasized that these restrictions hinder Ukraine's ability to defend against Russian offensive operations, particularly in northern Kharkiv Oblast. The Institute for the Study of War assessed that lifting these limitations could significantly enhance Ukraine's defense and counteroffensive capabilities. By enabling strikes on military targets within Russia, Ukraine could disrupt Russian military operations and logistics, potentially shifting the strategic balance in the conflict. Russian forces recently advanced near Vovchansk, Svatove, Kreminna, and Donetsk City. These advances are part of Russia's broader strategy to gain control over key areas and disrupt Ukrainian defenses. Despite these movements, Ukrainian forces continue to mount resistance and counterattacks to regain lost ground. The ongoing clashes in these regions highlight the intense and dynamic nature of the conflict. Both sides are striving for strategic advantages, with control over these areas being crucial for future operations. The situation remains fluid, with frequent changes in territorial control as both armies push forward. The Kremlin continues to feign interest in negotiations at critical moments in the war to influence Western decision-making on support for Ukraine. This tactic aims to extract preemptive concessions from the West. The Kremlin's repeated engagement in large-scale information campaigns shapes adversary actions to its advantage. Reports indicate that Russian officials have used negotiations to delay Western military aid and weaken Ukraine's position. These efforts reflect the strategic attempt to manipulate international perceptions and prolong the conflict while avoiding substantial concessions. The Kremlin's disingenuous approach underscores its broader objectives in the ongoing war. Unnamed Russian government officials and sources within the Russian Ministry of Defense revealed that the Kremlin is conducting an effort to remove senior Russian defense officials and uniformed commanding officers. This effort is likely to result in dozens or hundreds of arrests, targeting those deemed responsible for failures in the Ukraine conflict. Reports suggest that high-ranking officials, including Deputy Defense Minister Timur Ivanov and Lieutenant General Yuri Kuznetsov, are among those facing removal. This purge indicates significant internal turmoil within Russia's military leadership as the Kremlin seeks to assign blame for setbacks and reassert control.